Oops, I'm sorry. I forgot to share this. I forgot to share this with my last stream, referring to someone who is their parents, Jamaica. They were born in the United States. They're by law a United States citizen. Um, but they're saying that, yeah, me listening to this live stream where this woman who was born in the United States, her parents from Jamaica, I believe. Let's say if you have someone, in case I got it wrong, um, you have someone who was born in the United States and their parents may have came from the West Indies, like from Jamaica, and they were born in the United States. By law they are a United States citizen. Now, could they call themselves, yeah, I believe that they're being told that they shouldn't call themselves a Black American. All right. Although by law they are an American, they're legally, by law they're a United States citizen, and they are descendant of those who were quote unquote blacks who were said to have been enslaved in the Americas. All right. But I forgot to include this part here. I was meaning to go over here. Okay. America, define America. Short for the, okay, we're going from dictionary.com. Okay. Short for the United States of America. All right. Usually, typically, when we refer to America, people, we're usually thinking the United States of America. And America is a noun. Okay, is and the noun a noun is the name of a person, place, or thing, as you should know. Okay, so there are two definitions given here. Now, usually, typically, when we think in America, we're thinking the United States of America. All right. One and two, also called the Americas. Now, usually, yeah, America can also refer to the American continent. Usually, we refer to the Americas, which include North, South, and Central America. Well, really, Central America is part of North America, but yeah, Central America that include countries like Belize and yeah. So understand, but that's really part of North America. Central America is not really a continent, but yeah, it's really a part of North America. So yeah, if this woman is, whether or not she chooses to call herself this or not, but if this woman is by census, by law, by if she is by census would be considered part of the black race. All right, and like I said, black is also an ethnicity in the United States, and I do think that part of the black ethnicity, even in the United States, I would include, I would only make a differentiation. I would consider, like, now some would say, could I consider, Jamaican part of the black ethnicity in the United States? We do make a differentiation between Latino now. Considering how forms are usually, like when you're applying them, so there's usually not a differentiation made between, like, let's say those of the West Indies, unless they are from a Latin country. Although French was considered like, uh, we usually typically don't consider French like part of the Latin languages, although it is technically. But yeah, if you notice on an application, they will ask you, um, they'll ask person black, not of Hispanic origin, or white, not of Hispanic origin. Now they do make a differentiation when it comes to, in the United States, when it comes to the Latino, now they'll say Latinx ethnicity, but they don't really make a differentiation like when it comes to Jamaican, Haitian. Same with white people. They don't really make like if you're a white person of Irish descent versus German descent, they usually don't make that differentiation in the United States. Uh, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to include this. Yeah, technically French is one of the Latin languages, but yeah, it's just we don't usually see it that way. Like usually, I do believe, I don't think that a Haitian could mark off on a. Now I could be wrong, but you know how applications are usually set up. Um, I don't think that Haitian. I don't know if they would, if that they could be categorized in as Hispanic. You know, and I know Hispanic is a term that's kind of you know kind of somewhat outdated, but um, on the application when they ask white, not of Hispanic origin, black, not of Hispanic origin. And I was told that Negro was actually taken off of the census as of what, 2010, or was it 2000? I didn't notice that Negro was taken off. Like they know, yeah, yeah, and I believe that, yeah, Hispanic is also like considered outdated. But I do think it's been a while since I've really had to fill out an application. I do think that they will, like I don't know, like if I were to look up like a government form, like if I were to apply for government assistance, I'm wondering. I think what they use now is Latinx or yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying is, and understand I've been, like filling out applicant, well, or at least my mom for me, going back to the 70s, but me personally filling out applications, like they would put Hispanic. Um uh yeah, and they were usually, yeah, when they actually meant Latino. Yeah, I know Latino is more masculine, but they would usually mean Latino. But for years they used Hispanic. Um, I think even if you, yeah, they even if you were, let's say, this would be interesting, like if you were from like in the case of Diggable Planets. Y'all gotta excuse me, I'm kind of tired. What's her name? Uh Oh my gosh! Oh Lord, let me take it now. But oh girl, yeah, her parents were, she's, from Brazil, Afro Brazilian. Well, she's considered Afro Brazilian. Uh, yeah. Now, what would they consider that? Because of course we know with Brazil's the Portuguese. But yet they still would even though Portuguese is a different language, although very similar to Spanish, they were considered Hispanic in the United States, even though, yeah, even though the colonizers were, of Portugal, and the language is Portuguese. Similar, yeah, it's one of the Latin languages, but anyways, yeah, I'm so sorry. I meant to also, yeah. So could a person who have two parents that were born in Jamaica, they're descendant of those who were enslaved in the Americas. So they would be considered quote unquote black by the American census, and this person was themselves born in the United States. Okay. Could they call them, okay, they're saying they shouldn't call themselves Black American, although they were born and raised in the United States by law, legally United States citizen, and their parents are of the Americas. How could they not be able to call themselves Black American? Not only are they United States citizens by law, born in the United States, part of the culture of the United States, Black by race, descendant of those who were enslaved in the Americas, just as likely to have the same experiences as any other Black American whose family may have derived from more directly from the South. How could they not? And also they are of Jamaica, is a part of the Americas. How could they not call themselves Black Americans, especially if they are even legally a citizen of the United States, but their parents are still from the Americas? You see, this is for America here. Let me see. Got American, they got British. It's the same thing. Dictionary.com, United States, North America, South America. America, North America, South America. That includes the West Indies. The Americas include the West Indies. Someone said, I saw someone leave a post, well, they can't get a passport. That's not the point. They should still be able, but the thing is, they were born in, they don't need a passport. Okay, this is a person who was born in the United States. And they still, regardless, they still should be able to refer to themselves as Black and America because they were born in the Americas. We just usually, when we think America, we automatically think the United States. Yeah, but once upon a time, I do think, I'm trying to, all right, let me see. Yeah, they did, even though, yeah, they shouldn't be considered Hispanic. I do believe that Brazilians, those of like Brazilian descent, yeah, I do believe that they were able to call themselves like they just used the term Hispanic. I think that that may be why Hispanic is, no longer as, you know no longer used as it was, but they were using that term Hispanic like to broad, and describing those that we would now refer to as Latino, which would include those who spoke Portuguese. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong on that now. Now I can't say I've even had even myself interactions like that to even call them Hispanic. But I do recall. Hold on. Let me just see if perhaps I can look that up. Let me see. People of Brazil, they call it. Wonder did they ever say officially? I don't really totally trust the AI overviews, but it says here officially known the United States Brazilians are not legally considered Hispanic. Now I'm just wondering, at once upon a time, did they refer to them as like in the United States? Could they identify? Okay, because I'm just wondering. It says self identity. Many Brazilians in the U.S. do consider themselves Hispanic or Latino in daily life. For instance, a 2020 U.S. Census data processing aberration revealed that over 400,000 Brazilians identified as Hispanic or Latino on their American Community Survey forms. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. And then you have those of I remember seeing some videos up in YouTube some years ago. This is over 10 years ago. There were people who were directly descended from Spain, people of Spain, saying that those who we would now call Latinos, they should not refer to themselves as Spanish. They were like saying we are the real people of Spain. It's just like the whole thing with people debating on Aryan, saying that Aryan derived from Iran. Yeah, sorry about that. I was meaning I was saying I was going to go to show them this, but I forgot to with the last stream. So yeah, so yeah, but that's an interesting one, considering those of yeah, because you do have people in the United States who are of Brazilian descent or Portuguese. Now I can't say, even being from Chicago, I can't say that I've actually encountered people. I know there are quite a few of them, like more Portuguese descent, like in California, I believe. I can't say that, even though Chicago, a lot of diverse ethnicities and all in backgrounds, but I can't say that I've actually encountered people like Afro Brazilians or people of, people who would refer to themselves as, being more Portuguese descent. I can't say that I've actually encountered. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to. Man, I'm kind of upset that I didn't. That's what I was intending on pointing out in my last one, but I got kind of sidetracked. But yeah, just so America, United States. Okay, you see America, and I just, they just said I got America, United States, North America, South America. But usually when we're thinking like, no, when we're talking about the continents, we're usually saying the Americas. But it would be ridiculous to say that a woman was born in the United States, a black woman who would be put in the category, the racial category of black in the United States by census, it would be ridiculous. And she has two black parents, and they descended of those who were enslaved in the Americas, the black people who were enslaved in the Americas. Although they were born in Jamaica, she was born in the United States. She was raised in the United States. She is legally a United States citizen. And her parents are of the Americas. Her parents are from the part of the American. They were of the American continent. That's ridiculous to say that this woman could not or should not call herself Black American, even though she may acknowledge her Jamaican heritage. Yeah, she may be of the Jamaican heritage, but I would still even see her as being part of the Black American ethnicity. That's my opinion. Yeah, but that's it. For real. Peace.